Hey, good morning, everybody. Today, I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about utilizing your materials that you have. Utilize your surroundings, utilize your gym or your classroom, or maybe you're having an outside PE. There's lots of things you can do with just your surroundings to help you have an easier, a better, more interactive physical education experience for your students. But another thing is PE can be expensive. It can cost a lot of money to buy a lot of the things out there. For example, balance beams, balls, equipment, uniforms, jerseys, things like that. I was even online one day and I was trying to find handkerchiefs. And I saw a thing for handkerchiefs that was like 100 of them for 30 bucks. And I'm like, man, for a piece of cloth, that doesn't just make sense to me. So here's a few little things that I've done in the past to help me get materials for different activities. The first one is balance beams. I just went to Lowe's one time and I told them what I was doing and they donated some scrap wood to me. It didn't cost me anything, but these are usually about $4 a piece, these 2x4 by 8 foot planks. And I just coated it in duct tape, just wrapped it again and again and again and again. And now I have a balance beam that I can lay on the floor and kids can use for obstacle courses, activities, gymnastics, things like that. And again, I have that duct tape on top of it, so it's smooth. There's no splinters. It's not going to hurt me. I've had this one about 4 years. It's about time to re-duct tape it again, but it served its purpose. And I've made 4 of those for less than 10 bucks worth of duct tape. So again, ask your local businesses to help you out. Ask your lumber yards. I went to a bowling alley and said, hey, I'm a PE teacher. Do you have any pins that I can have to use in PE to do different activities? And I use bowling pins a lot. Kids have to knock them down playing some games, playing some kickball games, playing some throwing games, some rolling games, some blocking games. And a man brought me 24 bowling pins that just had a chip or something on them that they couldn't use anymore. I mean, these are official size, official weight, and I use these, and we play a game called Battleship, which I'll post next month. This game where kids throw dodgeballs or kickballs at these and try to knock them down for points, and other kids will try to catch it and stop the ball, things like that. I play relay races with these where kids have to pick them up and work on some weightlifting, especially with your young ones. To us, a bowling pin isn't that heavy, but to a pre-K, kindergarten, or first grader, this is a lot of weight. So, that's one thing. Use your community to help you out when it comes to finding materials. Another thing that I do is I love going to Thunder games. I go to Thunder games all the time. I'm a huge Thunder fan. I take athletes there sometimes and students and things like that. They serve their popcorn in nice little containers like this. I actually used to be a classroom teacher and I'd steal these at games all the time. The game would be over and I see dozens of these sitting around. I'd dump the popcorn in the trash can, I'd grab it and pick it up, and I'd come home with a stack of them. But one thing I do with these is I set these up around just like a basketball game, or you go to the fair and you throw the softball into the apple basket or the peach basket. Do the same thing with these. We throw ping pong balls into them, basketballs into them, and kids try to block them as they go along. But again, it cost me nothing besides having a great time at a Thunder game. Then I have the materials to use for my gym. Another thing I use is I went to the dollar store one day and I found these golf balls. Just little plastic, they're like ping pong balls, but they look like golf balls. I ended up buying about $5 worth right there. And on each of them I have activities. So what we do with these is, this one says sit-ups. What we do is we'll take these, and my kids know we do everything in 5s with my younger kids and 10 with my older kids. So for example, we'll have these sitting around and the kids will throw them, and you have a blocker trying to block them. If they go in, whatever lands in there, that's the activity that we'll do that day as a group. So the better the kid does at blocking everything, the better chance that we have them doing less activity, and then the kids who are trying to score all over the place and things like that. But we set several of these up. That's just one of the games that we do. But again, just write down some exercises on these little ping pong balls and or these little plastic golf balls, and you have a new activity ready to go. I have a soccer ball I've used multiple times in previous videos. Every little spot on the soccer ball has an activity. You play catch with it, you kick it, you save it, you read it, and then you do an activity on that. Again, $3 at Walmart for a soccer ball. Use these materials. One of my favorite ones that I've used, again, going back to the Amazon, the Walmart.com cloth or handkerchiefs, like we talked about. A couple of years ago, I was doing laundry, and I made the cardinal mistake that husbands make, and I washed a red with a white, and all of my shirts turned out pink. Well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not going to wear pink shirts to work, of course. So I took those shirts, cut them up into strips, and now I have handkerchiefs that I can use in my games and my activities and my materials. So again, real easy to do. Another thing I did was I actually changed school districts. You know, when you change districts, you can't use your rivals, you know, blankets, shirts, things like that anymore. It looked bad to be you know, a Hinton Comet and wear something from another school district. So, you know, kids would give you a hard time about that. So I took a couple of those shirts and cut them up, and a couple of blankets I had, and cut them into strips too, and now I have materials for that. You know, it didn't cost me anything but a little bit of time. So there's lots of fun activities you can do. You know, empty buckets, empty jars, just different things. You know, this one was cheese puffs at one time. You know, throw activities into it or have kids run around and try to stuff things into it. Whoever gets the most wins. There's lots of things that you can utilize around you to have a successful PE. So go through your house, have your kids go through their house, tell them to bring you things like this, and let's have a great week in PE. I'll talk to you soon, guys.